Class 3 electric motorized hand trucks are designed for use in dry applications with smooth hard floors and minimum grades. Applications include general warehousing and the grocery industry. And because they're electric, they can be used in exhaust-free areas, such as refrigerated or freezer storage plants. Motorized hand trucks can be operated by walking or riding, depending on the model and the application. Trucks in Class 3 include low-lift pallet walkie and walkie riders, high-lift straddle walkies, high-lift reach walkies, and tuggers. Walkie and walkie riders are designed to be operated with the load trailing the operator, like a wagon. High-lift models are designed to work in rack areas in place of counterbalance or narrow aisle trucks. A large battery or battery pack powers all Class 3 trucks, supplying power to the traction and hydraulic motors. Each facility has unique guidelines for battery charging. Refer to the operating manual that comes with the truck and talk to your supervisor for your company's policy on these procedures. Class 3 trucks are operated by a control handle. Handles vary by make and model, but they generally have a lifting button, a lowering button, a horn, a speed and directional control, and a reversing switch. When pushed, this button reverses the direction of the truck, helping to protect the operator from being pinned between the truck and a wall or load. Some rider models also have a high-speed switch, which is used to increase speed when traveling long distances. Only engage it when standing in the operator's area. Gauges include a battery indicator hour meter or separate battery indicator and hour meter. High lift models are equipped with masts of different heights. Mounted on the front of the mast are the forks and carriage. The carriage has a load backrest to help stabilize the load. Always check the nameplate for your truck's rated lifting capacity. Walkie straddle high lift trucks have outriggers to stabilize the load. Walkie reach trucks have a reach mechanism and also have outriggers to stabilize the load. Unlike rider trucks, walkie trucks don't have overhead guards. On Class 3 trucks, the brake is applied by raising the control handle all the way up or down. Some rider models have hand-controlled brakes. The preferred method for controlled braking on most walkie and walkie rider trucks is plugging. Plugging is moving the directional control in the opposite direction of the truck's travel. This brings the truck to a stop before moving in the opposite direction. Refer to the truck's operating manual for more detailed information on plugging. If you are new to plugging, make sure you practice it before you handle loads. When operating Class 3 trucks, you must follow basic safety rules. Remember to read the truck's operating manual, check the truck's nameplate, and make a complete inspection of the truck before operating it. And speaking of inspections, there are a number of major checks you must do before operating your truck. Check for leaks. Do a full walk around, looking underneath the truck. Make sure the key is off. Check the motor compartment and clean out any debris. Check all hydraulic connections. On masted walkies, before checking the mast, make sure the carriage and channels are lowered and that the truck is turned off and the key removed. Check the carriage, chains, mast, load backrest, and hoses. Look for excessively worn or damaged parts. Pay special attention to the pins and anchors on the chains and forks. Check the forks for cracks and excessive wear. Refer to your operating manual for more detailed information on fork inspection. Look for chunking and rubber separation on the load and drive wheels. Check to see if any nails or wire has become embedded in the wheels. And check that shrink wrap, banding, or string has not become wound around the axle. Inspect the battery and connectors. Look for damage, corrosion, or loose connections. Make sure the battery is secured properly in place within the battery compartment. If the truck fails any part of the inspection, tag it, remove the key, and immediately report the problem to your supervisor. Never attempt to fix a problem yourself. Repairs must be carried out by trained service personnel. As a lift truck operator, there are several things you must do following the pre-shift inspection and before operating a lift truck. First, make sure the weight of the load does not exceed the truck's rated lifting capacity, as specified on the nameplate. Second, check the type, size, and shape of the load. Make sure the load is stable and won't shift when moved. In addition to damaging product, an unstable load can fall and injure you or a coworker. If the load is too tall or may become unstable when traveling, repack the load and rewrap with shrink wrap or banding. If you are still unsure about the load, see your supervisor. And third, make sure the floor is safe for traveling. Motorized hand trucks are designed for smooth, hard floors with very slight grades. Now let's look at how to operate these trucks. As with any lift truck, always familiarize yourself with its controls. Turn the key and lower the steering braking handle. This will release the brake. To move the truck forks first, use your thumb and rotate the directional control switch on the handle away from you. To move the truck towards you, rotate the directional control towards you. The more you rotate this control, the faster the truck will go. Remember, rotate the control in the same direction you want the truck to go. When operating a truck with the forks trailing, to turn to the right, swing the steer handle to the right. To turn left, swing the steer handle to the left. Always check for pedestrians and other trucks. On motorized hand trucks, the brake is applied whenever the handle is in the full up or full down position. Walkie trucks should be walked in the direction of highest visibility, which is normally with a load behind you and your arm slightly bent. You should always walk to the side of the truck. This is important because if you have to stop suddenly, your arm will naturally move the steering braking arm to the full up or down position, causing the truck to stop. Always bring the truck to a full stop before taking your hands off the control handle. Loaded motorized walkie and walkie rider hand trucks travel with the forks in the up position. Remember to travel in the direction of the highest visibility. When traveling with a masted walkie without a load, make sure the mast is fully lowered and travel with the forks about 4 inches from the ground. Never travel faster than normal walking speed. Always travel with one hand on the controls and walk ahead and to the side of the truck with the load trailing. Operate your masted walkie slowly when turning. Unlike sit-down counterbalance and stand-up narrow aisle trucks that steer from the rear, low-lift and masted walkie and walkie riders steer from the front, like an automobile. With the load trailing, you have to be aware of turning corners too sharply or front-end swing. While operating with the load leading and turning to place or remove a load, you must also be aware of tail swing, which is the swift movement outward of the opposite end of the truck. As we mentioned earlier, some rider trucks have a high speed switch. Be especially careful at high speeds because you will need more room to stop. And if you take corners too fast, the truck or load can tip over. Some walkie rider trucks are equipped with a coast control feature to facilitate order picking. With this feature, the truck will coast a few feet before it stops. Only use the coast control when you are operating from a walking position. You have to be especially careful when using this feature because the brake is not applied immediately, but is applied after the truck coasts a few feet. When using the coast control, make sure it is used only on a level surface, free of debris. You should not allow the truck to coast into a cross aisle or be used in pedestrian walkways. Make sure you walk to the side of the coast